Hello! Welcome, and thank you for joining me on another camping adventure. I am almost to my destination. I've got 36 miles to go, and on this trip, I am meeting some friends in the Pacific Northwest Olympic National Forest, which is a rainforest, and I've never camped in there before. I've never been to this particular spot. We are going to be on Forest Service roads near a lake, but we're not going to be near the lake. We're going to be near like a river that goes into the lake. So I'm excited. It's going to be a quick one, just a couple days, 2 nights, 3 days, but I am really looking forward to it. It is hot. It is so hot. The temperature gauge read 104 at the highest. Right now it's 91. Thank the Lord and baby Jesus, it is cooling down, and it should be pretty nice where we're at. It's going to be cooler than the city or anything. So this is a nice getaway. It's very squatchy, and that's why we're going there, to gather and make merry and have a lot of fun and connect with the Sasquatch people. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. This is just a few weeks from the last trip I went on, which was out in the Blues. And boy, oh boy, if you haven't seen that video, it's, oh my gosh, what's the title? Soul Family, Sasquatch, Star Nations, and Ghosts Go Camping in the Enchanted Forest. Check it out, because that title says it all. We had a lot of fun, and a lot happened that I'm still processing. I really am. And I think everybody else that was there has got to be on the same page with that, because, I don't have answers for everything that happened. I just have my memory and my continuing musing over what went down. But the interaction and connection with the Sasquatch and the Star Nations and the ghosts and the Enchanted Forest and all of that was very, very real and very, very beautiful. So I'm really stoked to head into camp this time around, right off of that one, and yeah, we're gonna have fun. So thanks for coming along, and yeah, I'll see you on the flip side.
Hi, Bubby. Hi, little one. Hi.
Hi. I've made it to camp. It's super beautiful. It's still really hot. I just got done setting up. I'm sweating bullets. But I wanted to show you around. It's a decoy tent. This is my tent. I have some little guys here just for fun. See if anyone plays with them. Just an assortment of things. This cup glows in the dark. This glows in the dark when you hit it. Oh. It'll be harder. Yeah. So that's fun. Thanks, Brett and Jill and Michael. That was a gift from the Flash of Beauty crew. A Flash of Beauty Paranormal Bigfoot comes out in October, and I have the honor of being in it. And I tell some stories about orbs and Sasquatch and paranormal things. So it's a lot of fun. Look for it on Amazon Prime and other streaming services. There's some really great graffiti under this bridge. I don't know if that's going to turn out right side right. But essentially it says, please pack out your trash. Your mom doesn't live here. Don't leave it for the rest of us to haul it out for you. And bury your dang TP. The DNR has been closing areas like this because of a few disrespectful jerks out there. Keep our lands open. If you got this stuff here, you can get it out. And it's true. Don't be a jerk, man. If you're going to enjoy nature, leave it better than how you found it. It's just the right thing to do. Luckily, you know, for every jerk out there that litters, there's 2 or 3 people out there who will pick it up. But just don't do it in the first place. Ugh. It's so hot. Look at this view. Look how pretty. I'm gonna cook dinner here soon. Steak and onions and tortillas. But right now, I'm gonna put my feet in the water and cool down. I'll see you in a few. Hi. Well, it is the first evening. It's been a really good one. And right up here, we've been sitting next to the water. And it's just been, it was a huge show in the sky. There were so many things seen by my buddy Mitch and I. Clear skies and just some really cool things. We're not alone. We're not alone. We're being watched. And we're watching them, and they're watching us. And I said this to my friend Arla last night. We were talking about it. The star people, those other beings that are up there and that do watch us and communicate in different ways. And I said they're watching us carefully and lovingly. And I guess in some way we're doing the same. We're watching them carefully and lovingly. And because of that, there is a connection that is occurring, that is happening. It's very real. I don't fully understand it, but my heart is open to it. And I think that that plays a big part in all of this. You know, whatever you open your heart up to, you're going to meet. You're going to connect with. And if anyone remembers Barbara Lamb, she was a pretty amazing woman. And she passed away a few years ago. And she lived a very long, cool life. And I found out about her through crop circles because she was very open about her interpretations and her insights, and she also had a lot of contact with other beings. And I met her once. I met her a few times, but there's this one point where she goes, there are many types of beings in this world. There are good ones and there are bad ones. I prefer to hang out with the good ones. And I always liked that. we have free will in this world, and who we connect with and what we connect with and what we do. And I know that my journey is connected to this, and I'm putting my energy into connecting with them, and it's real and it's occurring, and it's a lot of fun, especially when you're out in the forest and it's a little more direct. So I'll see you in the morning. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'll need to turn this on, take another picture of red orbs and on the other side of the tent. If it happens, if it feels right, I'll do it. We'll see what happens tonight. Otherwise, I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is day 2, morning 1. And I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I had a lot of neighborly activity. And when I got into my tent last night and I was getting everything set up for bed, I was actually like facing this direction and turning down the sleeping bag, and I heard a kind of sound right over here where the table is. So I knew something had been moved or something happened on that table because I put all those things on it for them to play with. So that happened. I got swipes up and down on this side, and on the opposite side there was like this flutter that I was able to kind of recreate by taking my hands and hitting them on the side of the tent really fast. Pop, 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 pop. So it was like every single time I was about to fall asleep, something else would come by and brush the tent, hit the tent. And that went on. The last time I looked at the clock was 12:45. So at least from 11:15 to 12:45 laying here, there was just a lot of nonstop activity. So we're gonna go outside and look at the table. Close this up as best I can. Okay, that's good. So let's look at the table, because something has changed. I had put all of these up here, and if you remember, there was a golf ball, and that golf ball is not there anymore, and it is on the ground. So I think that was that was raked across the table like that and made that noise. Now, there are some possible finger swipes that could be from me. I don't know. I should clean the table off before setting it up. It has like dirt stains on it, but there's like some interesting marks right here. And this is the side that I was hearing up and down like that. It wasn't falling branches or anything like that, because it was going up as well as down. So that's pretty cool. This is the one that I showed him too, remember? I lit it and I showed it. I'm not sure about that stick. It's an interesting stick. And that is the coolest golf ball in the history of golf balls. Super fun. All right. It's a beautiful morning. It's about 7 o'clock, a little after 7. and we're gonna get this day started. All right, see you later. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the golf ball back to its original position. I also want to say that I did put these two here. After I showed this lineup and took video of it, I added these two. They're really cool. I found these over by the water. So, just a really neat rock. And then this one, it's like how in the world this area, this water, this isn't somewhere where like boats come through and maybe there's like a lot of heavy weight on the rocks. But you know, boats aren't here next to this water. But this rock was broken like that. And it like puzzle pieces back together. So I thought it was cool. And I placed it up here. Placed these guys here, and these guys were all here. And I had all of them touching. And all of them touching each other. And that guy is down there. And it did not roll. This is what it sounded like. It sounded like this. I did this, and I was like, okay, that was the noise. Sounded like that. So let's pick this up. What's that hair? I don't know what that hair is. So it was here. There you go. Fits perfectly right there. And I had everything lined up like this. And then this was, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. Let's see what it sounds like. If for some reason it just, hi bird. If for some reason it would have just rolled. Yeah. It did not. Hi, bird. Hello. I'm making a video. So yeah. Really cool. This is what I showed too. I brought it down here and I cracked it on the rock. And it made it glowy. I thought they'd like this one. But it was funny, because I was just on the other side of that tent wall, staring in this direction when it happened. So, I'm glad that they liked the golf ball. We'll see what happens tonight. Hi. So yesterday, when we were sitting next to this water, and I was looking at rocks, and I found those other rocks, I found this rock, and it's got some interesting marks on it. It looks like it's been etched with like four deep gashes that are all like kind of perfectly spaced apart. And I wanted to show that because it's interesting. I don't know if I'm doing very good camera work. Where is it? So yeah, the question is, Like, how did those get there? Is that natural? Is that a natural formation? I don't know. Maybe it is. It seems like maybe these are veins and this stuff has come out. The vein parts have come out, but I don't know. It's really cool. I don't think quartz like removes itself like that or disintegrates, but that's just really neat. And I think some of the other campers around here have found other rocks that have etchings, and potentially one of the, like when I first got here and it was hot and everybody was like, come put your feet in the water, I took my chair and went and put my feet in the water, and kind of like immediately in front of me was this rock, which I picked up because it has a Y etched in it. That's so cool. So who's etching the rocks? Is that a thing? Someone etching rocks while they sit here? Would that be a human activity? Etching rocks by the water? Would someone else be doing that? I think you'd have to have, you wouldn't just have your pocket knife etching stones, you'd ruin your knife. A chisel. But if you were chiseling away at something, that usually makes it shatter or whatnot. So, etched rocks. And see if I can find that one again. It's just, looks really cool. Here it is. How'd that happen? I love it. It was wonderful falling asleep to this sound right here. Once I did get to sleep. It was non-stop swipes and touching of the tent and so many things last night. And there's no one else camped around here. It's just that tent right there. Mine on the left, the one on the right, like I said, was a decoy just to make sure this spot was available before I got here. So, yep, I need to eat. I'm gonna make some steak. I did not do that last night. I didn't have any dinner. We were transfixed with the sky and watching all of the amazing things that were going on in it. So, and then it was late, and then it was time to go to bed. So I'm starving, and I'm gonna make my steak and onions and tortillas right now. All right.
Hey, let's see some style. Cannonball! Ooh.
Cannonball!
Don't slip. Good, good. Oh, very close.
Whoa!
Very close.
Okay, I think that's a 10.
Very good, Kevin.
Hello. It's about 7:30. We're on night 2, and tomorrow I'll be packing up and heading home. And I wanted to just go over a couple of things. I've got the table here, and I've really set it up to where this is being kind of pinned at an angle. So it's not going to move on its own. I want to kind of eliminate that as a possibility that for some reason this just fell off by itself. But I don't think that's what the case. That's not what it sounded like. It sounded like it was raked across. But at any rate, I have all these guys here, and they're all lined up and they're all touching. I also have this new rock that I found. It's kind of fun. So here's all of this. And I also wanted to point out that there's this thing right here. And this is one of those like Velcro catch, throw and catch games. And we found this here. And Sandy had put it up on top of this rock earlier today. And a couple hours ago I walked by and it's down here. Now, is it windy? Well, it's windy down there by the water, but it's not windy up here. There's no wind, really. So, but maybe the wind knocked it over. Somehow it made its way down there naturally. But I don't know. I wanted to document it because if it makes its way up on top of the rock again, then we'd know that it wasn't the wind that did that. So I'm looking forward to tonight. We're going to do some sky watching in that beautiful sky up there. We have a great open view. We're going to sit down here. We've been sitting by the water all day in the shade of this glorious bridge with awesome graffiti and just moving with the shadow just to stay within the shadow because it's been so dang hot. But tonight we'll be over here and we got a view of that. And I'll take some videos if I see anything noteworthy of taking a video of. It'll be fun. Last night was a trip. There's a lot of touching and manipulation of the tent. And also, that thump. It was like a thump from the outside of the tent onto the metal part of my cot. And then when it thumped it sent like a vibration through the metal. It was like brrr, like that in a very concentrated area, and that it hit up against my leg. So that happened. And then just like the swipes up and down and the potential movement of the golf ball. And yeah, one more night here. We'll see what happens. See you in a bit. Good morning. It is a good morning. I definitely had some activity last night. I was laying here in bed. It was about 11 o'clock when I went to bed. And it was about 11 o'clock when I got to my tent. And I was laying here, it's probably between 11:30 and 11:45. And I was drifting to sleep. And right here, next to my head, was a really big hand noise. It went up and down. It was actually like right here. And it was on the other side. So from the outside. Big hand swipe. And so it jolted me awake. And I was in that alert state. And I smiled and I said out loud, I said, hello, God bless you. Thank you for sharing your space with us. And I said that out loud. Maybe about 5 minutes later or so, there were two things that happened. I can't remember the order. The hand swipe was first. And then I said hello, and then I had a vibration happen on my hip, on my right side hip. I think that happened next because like I was alerted, and then I said hello, and then I felt a tingling vibration on the outer side of my right leg, which has been pinpointed before by them. And they do their energetic work. I call it vibrating. Maybe I should find a new word for it, or a better word, but that's what it is. It's like a vibration. It's a frequency, something that they can do to your body, to my body. They do scans as well. They can scan energetically your body and work with you. Because healing is the name of the game. So that happened, and then I heard him clear his throat right on the other side. And he went and that was so special and so cool. And I'm super appreciative for that experience. And it like the hand swipe last night, there was only one, and I think they knew I was tired. Like the night before, every time I was about to fall asleep, there was another swipe. So I did not get a lot of sleep. And last night I needed to get sleep, but I also wanted and was hoping to have some interaction. So they did. They came through at a respectable hour and did some incredible things. A hand swipe, an energetic vibration on my leg, and then a clearing of the throat. And all of that happened in less than 45 minutes, and I was able to go to sleep after that. Fell asleep, slept like a baby. So what a success. What a beautiful experience this camp has been. It's early, 7:30-ish. I've got to clean up, hit the road. But I am blessed. I think you can hear everybody's waking up and some people are saying their goodbyes and everything. So, all right. I'll see you later. Hi. So I'm headed home from this glorious, beautiful, wonderful last few days in the forest. There's a lot of cool stuff that happened. The first night, the activity in the skies was amazing. There was, Mitch and I saw at least like 25 to 30 different anomalous things flying around. There was this streak across the sky, but it was horizontal. It wasn't at an angle or anything like that. And it looked like it was going through water. And it almost like kept its shape the entire time until it disappeared from point A to point B, right? I was kept up for a good 3 hours or so on that first night in the tent with different swooshing and the golf ball being moved and kind of like that, only like so super fast. It was like hummingbird. It was like hummingbird fast, brrr, like that. And last night I was driving and there was a lyric in a song that brought back a memory of another thing that happened last night on the outside of the tent. So there was this series of events emanating from this individual right on the other side of where I was laying and where the table was. And the first thing that set it off was the big swoosh up or down and up right next to my head. And that alerted me, that got me going, right? Became very aware of my surroundings, and I said, hello, God bless you, thank you for sharing your home. Something to that effect. Thank you for sharing your space, thank you for sharing your home. And I remember I had like popped my head up. I was sleeping on my side, so my back was facing that area, and I popped my head up and I said that, and there was this swoosh of white light that was off in like kind of parallel to my knees. And so I was looking back and I saw it up high, but still like right next to the tent and parallel to the top of the window. And I had all the windows up. I had them all zipped up, but I could see that light on the outside, and it kind of like, it was small and it swooshed in like this and went away. And then there was the vibration on the leg in a specific area that the day before, Sandy reminded me we were talking about we were talking about aches and pains and different things, and I've had a bit of an issue with my leg, and that was the area that I had an energetic vibrating frequency pinpoint of energy on my leg. And yeah, man, like, oh, and then the clearing of the throat. It was the individual on the outside was male. I could tell from the clearing of the throat like that. It was very human, like it wasn't animalistic. It wasn't a growl or guttural or anything. It was masculine, human type of clearing of the throat. And all of this happened with no footsteps. I did not hear any footsteps coming in, coming out, or anything. And right before we all went to bed last night, Russell has his car parked a little farther than my truck, and he had gotten up and he had went over to his car for something, and then I got up to go get something from my vehicle. And on the other side of my tent, there's kind of like this open area, and there's trees and such, and I heard like a crunching, crashing, something like that over in that area. And I thought to myself, I'm like, well, that's not Russell, because there's no reason for him to be over there, and he's actually right over here by his car. It's right over here, it's not over there. So I heard that, and I went back over to where we were all sitting, and he came back down later. He's like, yeah, I heard something over there. I'm like, okay, yeah, you heard something too. And then today, after I had gotten everything packed up in the truck, I was fiddling around with something. I went back over to the truck, and no, actually it was right when I started to pack up, and I went to the back of the truck to get that organized first. And when I walked up there, I absolutely felt someone watching me. I was not alone up in that area. And then Russell came by, and he was walking over to his vehicle, and this is this morning, and he stops kind of midway between me and his vehicle, and he went, whoa, like he hit a wall. He's like, whoa, he's like, I just hit this energy. There's this energy here. And he's sensitive. He can feel that. And I was like, I had the feeling like I was being watched. And then, you know, we kind of confirmed that for each other, and he went along and did his thing, and I was doing my thing. And then when he came and walked past again, he got hit by that energy again, to the point where, like, he had goose pimples, the goosebumps all over his legs and arms. And the energetic response was very immediate. So we had visitors, we had friends from the forest who came out and made contact with us. Respectful, peaceful, loving, and encouraging contact with the Sasquatch people and with the Star Nation people. There's a lot going on up in the sky, and I've been studying the sky nightly, multiple times a night. I'll go outside and I will stare at the sky, and I've gone to very remote areas of the Pacific Northwest to study the sky and to study what's going on. And, you know, I've developed this relationship with what I see in the sky, and I don't have a name for it, and I have a very evolved the way that I have looked at the sky, and the way that I have connected with the sky, and my ideas of the cosmology of this reality and experience has very, very much evolved, you know, in parallel with this study. So I see things a lot differently than the kind of mainstream accepted and academically pushed definitions of where we're at. I think there's way more to the story. I know there's way more to the story, because the deeper I dive into the studies of history, the more I find that, oh boy, like, there's a lot we need to unlearn, and there's a lot that we need to be open to move forward. And I mean, like, or for me, you know, that's how I'm doing this for myself. I am unlearning in this process as much as I am learning, because the conditions that are placed upon our imagination and our creative ways of looking at the world, you know, that's a premeditated stifling from those who wish to hide truth. And so the unlearning process is as much as much a part of this as the learning and the continuous evolution. There is no stopping and going, I am finite in my beliefs, and I know what all this is. I'm 10 years into this connection with the Sasquatch, and I learn something new every single time. And my outlook and my personal knowing of this connection is continuously evolving, morphing, unfolding. So I think the light last night was kind of like the last thing out of, because I was like I know there was other things that happened, and then I remembered the light outside the tent, and I think that wraps up at least the conscious remembrance of everything that happened last night. You know, who knows what's going on when we're asleep and in the unconscious, but I know it's good, and I know that that healing that comes from these physical connections, you know, that's happening, and the healing that is coming in the unconscious, non-physical, you know, the subconscious ways in which we are connected. We're always connected. Like that's just as important, man. So yeah, I'm excited to get this little video out. It was a good one. Beautiful area. It was hot. It was very, very hot, but it was all right, and it was a blessing. And the heat from the sun was a blessing, and so was the breeze, and so was the water, and all of the other elements of nature that I got to immerse myself in and connect with. And you know, I think it, like, you know, retrains my eyes or something. When I'm in the city, I'm looking at boxes and cubes and right angles and, you know, all this man-made stuff, and you know, just sitting down and watching the water flow and the leaves move so independently and together and sway. I think it, you know, that's healing in itself. So as always, I encourage everyone to safely experience nature and get back in tune with that radio station, because it's a good frequency, man. Best songs in the universe. All right, peace, love yourself. Love yourself enough to heal. I love you. I'll see you later.